For my 4-week project, I learned how to use an Arduino board. I chose to uh, learn how to use the Arduino board because I was really hoping to use it for possible future projects. Just like I just wanted to learn the basics of it so I would be able to do that in the future on a more in-depth scale. Um, for how to learn the um, to learn the in, to use the Arduino board, I used an Instructables class. And in the Instructables class, it told me everything that I needed, which was just the Arduino board Uno. I needed a breadboard, I needed some wires and some lights, and I needed to download the Arduino app right here. Um, and then it went the first week. It told me how to access the code and um, how to download it onto the Arduino board. Basically, you needed to set up a wire plugging into your computer and into your Arduino board. Um, then you needed to just hit the upload button, and then it would upload into the Arduino board and allow you to um, run the different uh, codes through it. Then it uh, explained how to set up everything to make the light actually blink like it did in this video. Um, and I just learned how to access the code and like basically everything, how to set it up the first week. Then during the second week, I learned like more in-depth setups and like how to work with a series of lights, and um, then it would like explain what each code, like what each line of code meant, and so I was able to understand the code that I was downloading. I wasn't just mindlessly going through it. And then it would explain different things on like what I could change to make it the lights either stay on longer or go out faster. And then I was able to learn how to make it fade. And with this as well, it allowed me to change the timing on how it would fade on and off, and like just different things like that. And then for week three, it the instructables class went through a things on how to like set up different patterns and like how to make it where different lights blink at different times. And for it, I used different colored lights just to change it up a bit. And so the lights were able to flash with different patterns and different colors. And with the code, I was able to change which lights flashed when, and I was able to understand what I was actually able to do. And then it taught me how to use it to fade through all of the lights, and how to change the timing on that to make it speed up or slow down. And in the video, I slowed it down to the slowest it could possibly go to change to fade in between each and every single light that was there. Um, and then for the fourth week, I learned how to use buttons and a potentiometer. And this is when I had some uh, trouble with it because the button was a completely different setup than what I had been going through in the beginning. Now I had to send power source to the light and to the button, and then I had to understand what the code was trying to make the button do. Um, and the button was easier than the potentiometer, uh, just because the setup was pretty simple, or at least more simple than the potentiometer, but very much more difficult than the previous setups. And then with the potentiometer, the one that they used in the Instructables class looked very different than the one that I used in the on my actual project, which kind of threw me off a bit because I didn't understand exactly what a potentiometer was for a while. So I had to do more research and learn what the potentiometer was and how it worked in my project. And then I had to set up my breadboard a lot differently than the one they had used to set up in the video and pictures and description in the instructables class. And so it took me a while to understand how to set it up differently, but um, once I got it down, I understood how to like what the power sources were going to and how everything was working when I twisted it, what it was saying to do. And this setup was a lot more difficult than the previous ones, just because there was more to do and because it didn't explain anything to me at all in the beginning. But in the end, I got it to work, and I got everything to work just by testing out different setups and working with the code some. I found out in the beginning though that you have to hit the reset button, which is right where my mouse is, because if you did not hit the reset button, then it would not you would not be able to download the code onto the Arduino board once again, which caused some problems for a while because I didn't understand why my code wasn't working, and then I found out I just had to reset it and upload my code again, and that is what I learned on my 4-week project.